to be in with a chance at the end of the season of getting promoted, you need to be on good form. To have good form, you need a pretty settled side and you need to stop messing about with tactics. We've done neither. Hello and welcome to episode 35 of To Be a Legend. My name is Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games. First of all, in League 2 against Swindon Town, and then we're away. No, we're not. We're at home in the Papa John's, the Pizza Trophy. Group D, Game 2, 3 games in this particular trophy. In the group games, play everybody once, and we play Crewe in this one. Our fellow opposition from League 2, so they're a League 2 side, but then we did lose the first game to Hartlepool, of course, which didn't do us much good. We'll have a look at that in just a moment, but since you were last with us, we have been playing a few games, actually. I did say we would trundle through this season probably a bit quicker than we did before. The idea being is we will play games early in each month, dependent on cup games and games like we've got coming up against Hartlepool. Hartlepool currently in second place, and it's a 6-pointer basically. So games like that we will come across, but otherwise we're generally playing the early games. Well, obviously this completely messes it up in November, so we're more likely to do Woking and the FA Cup first round, and then Aston Villa under 21s and Stevenage in the next episode. But of course, we'll work our way through the games in between. But more about what's been happening since you were last with us. We lost to Hartlepool 4-2 in the first game of the Pizza Trophy, the Papa John's Pizza Trophy. But then managed to beat Chesterfield by 2-1 to put ourselves back on track, having lost to Wimbledon in the previous episode in League 2, which give us a little bit of a dent because we've had a reasonably good start to League 2, drawing 1 and winning 2. But since then, as you see, we're on a 5-match unbeaten run in League 2. That win against Chesterfield was the start of it. We then went on to beat Bradford City. Johnny Smith and Lewis Dobby, the scorers in that one, with Matt Platt getting an own goal after 46, beat them 3-0. And then we played Doncaster. Johnny Smith again, early goal, 3 minutes on the clock. Tyrese Omatoy getting a brace, and Jaden Raymond rounding it off on 86 minutes to give us that 4-2 win. A bit defensively lax there. Then we played Carlisle. Carlisle, I'm not quite sure what position they were in really, but they were near the top of top. Omatoy getting another brace. Lewis Dobby also getting on the score sheet, a 3-1 win over Carlisle. In fact, I'm not sure we didn't go behind in that game. Did we go behind in that game? No, we didn't. Omatoy on 25 minutes. Edmondson equalised after 35, but Omatoy getting the other one on 39. So no, we did have the lead in that game. And then we have played Gillingham, and we've beaten them 3-0. Lewis Walker after 2 minutes, and Omatoy again, his third brace in a row. So he's on form. But you will also notice we have changed formation very slightly. When you were last with us, we were playing a 4-2-3-1. I think we're on version 2 or version 1, I can't remember, which was going okay. But as I say, with the 4-2 game, it just worried me greatly that we might start to cave in a little bit. It was just a bit flawed. So since then, we've switched to a 4-3-1-2, which I think we did try back here. It didn't work, but we've come back to it and we've tweaked it slightly. So far, it appears to have worked. I mean, it obviously virtually derailed us there. to the point that we nearly had to, nearly caused us a great problem. But as I say, it has put us back on the rails correctly. And we'll test it out again today against Swindon Town, who are currently in 9th place, and then against Crewe in the Papa John's Trophy, who are currently second. We'll have a look at that properly in just a moment. Let's have a look at League Two then. We are on top, but just to point out, we have played a game more than everybody else. I'm not sure why we've played a game more than everybody else, mind you, but we have played a game more than everybody else. But having said that, we are 4 points clear of Hartlepool in second place, who've dropped points. They've drawn 3 games. Not lost yet this season, but they have drawn 3 games, which means they've dropped a massive 6 points, which has put them behind us 4 points. So even if they were to win that game, we'll assume on the basis they haven't lost this season, the very minimum they'll do is draw. But the chances are they will win that game, and in which case they will be a point behind us. Albeit we do have a reasonably superior goal difference at the moment. So that is today's episode. Swindon Town, as I say, currently in 9th. They played 8 games, 3 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. Those 2 losses coming against Northampton and Rochdale, both away from home. So they're away from home today. So that augments quite well. Anyhow, they're in quite good form at home, so we'll see how that goes. I think it's high time that we actually got on player stats. Omatoy is top scorer in League Two at the moment with 9 goals ahead of 2 goals ahead of Sam Nombi from Exeter City, and Newtham Melvin Lambert Carlisle, who has 6 goals. And as you'll see, Omatoy's had 16 shots on target, hit the target 9 times. That's from 8 appearances. So he's doing okay. What other things can we do? Expected goals in 90 minutes. Therese Omatoy expected 1.07 against Luke Armstrong in second place, 0.7. Tashmanga 6.67, and India Vassaslev, who scored against us when we played Mansfield at the start of the season, 0.66. As far as penalties go, we've had more penalties than everybody else, but Tyrese Omatoy's missed 2. He's scored 3 from 5. George Thompson has scored 2 from 2. Jamie Walker 2 from 2, and Kane Bennett 1 from 1. And actually, expected assists, Callum Scanlon has the best, 2.60, and team goals. Tyrese Omatoy, 22 goals expected. It's 8.32. I'm not sure how that works out, but he's doing quite well and hitting the target. Let's hope he can continue that form today in this first match of the episode against Swindon. Let's go and have a look at the teams. And this is the team that will face Swindon in this Sky Bet League 2 match. Killip in goal then, Scanlon, Greenwich, Williams and McDonald in the back line. Greenwich has been called up for Grenada in the up-and-coming internationals. Greaves, Viner, who's playing as defensive midfielder today, and Patterson in that central midfield, with Raymond up as the shadow striker. I was trying to think of what an SS meant in this formation. And then Norket, who has had a bit of a grumble that he's not been playing regularly enough. So today he gets a start, and he is alongside Omatoy, who really is in such good form you couldn't but start him. And this is the new formation, as I say, a 4-3-1-2. And then on the bench we have Malden, Gamble, Clark, Mundell, Turner Cook, Walker and Dobby. Lots of choice as far as strikers concerned. Turner Cook and Walker really would play as attacking midfielders, but of course in this formation don't really play with those wide players up front. Albeit I suppose we could switch out if we're doing doing not particularly well or something, it does give us the options from the bench to change the formation up a little bit. But that is the team that will face Swindon. And this is how we line up. And against Swindon. Swindon currently 9th in the table. And our first highlight, 15 minutes on the clock virtually. Omatoy, Viner with the throw in. It's a long ball, not getting all the way across. Ironside comes forward and we need to defend this. It's being defended. I'm not sure if that's Linton or Scanlon we've got on the back there. Scanlon. A long ball over the top to Wakeling. It's gone out a bit wide, but Devine is there. He's going to have a sweep that in, and it's headed in at the near post by Ironside, and they go one up after 16 minutes. Didn't defend this particularly well. Devine crossing that in, and that's just caught the post on the way in. Highlight from kickoff, Omatoy to Greaves, who's given that ball away, but he's won it back. Omatoy and Greaves winning the ball back. Through ball, looking for Norket, but Norket, there's a bit of a funny angle for Norket. Norket not on the wavelength at all. Long ball, and it's been one Ironside, and Wakeling is in, and they go two down here. We're in trouble. But Killip, I think it was well defended by Williams, who cut across him. And Killip just managed to get the ball. And they have a corner. Hilton with the corner. It's not headed clear. Williams does head it clear. Raymond, not there. Williams again. Scanlon, but he's not tall enough. Greaves gets in. He's already on a yellow card. He needs to be careful. It's all been Swindon in this first half. You'll see from the stats at half time. And that, not quite sure, is looked like picked up an injury there, Raymond. But it's been... kicked back to the goalkeeper, who holds the ball up, fires a long one. Greenwich is underneath it, but he doesn't head it down into the path of Norgate. And Wakeling is in again, and he's put it wide. And half-time does come. As you'll see, Swindon have had 8 shots, one of them on target, 0.81, 50% of the possession. We've had 3 shots and just the one on target, 0.25. We need to have more shots and more on target in the second half if we're to get back in this game. And I am anticipating us getting back in the game. Just need to have a word with the boys at half time. And you come back and join us. We have 61 minutes on the clock and we've made 3 changes. Harry Williams coming off for Patrick Gamble. We've moved McDonald over from the right to the left and taken off Callum Scanlon, who wasn't having a good game, and he is replaced effectively by James Clark, who comes in on the right. And our third change is Manny Norket, again not doing anything, getting frustrated, in danger of getting a booking, potentially being sent off as well. And Jay Turner Cook has come on for Manny Norket, and we do have options to drop him into the shadow striker role in place of Raymond, and bring on Lewis Walker if we need to. And with 82 minutes on the clock, no more highlights, and we're struggling. We've not been able to do much attack wise. Still only had that one shot on goal, so we've made the rest of our changes. In fact, 2 changes. AJ Graves has come off for Mundell in that central midfield. In fact, might just swap them 2 over. I don't know if that makes a difference. I think it makes a great deal of difference, but we'll swap them 2 over. I wonder if that might be better as a support role. There we go. Yeah, Mundell is on for AJ Greaves, and Omatoy, who's not going to get his 4th brace in a row, he's off. And we brought on Lewis Dobby, who's up front. Turner Cook going out to the right-hand side of attack, and Patterson moving up into that attacking playmaker role as we switch to a 4-2-3-1. Let's see if we can get that goal back. A draw would be good. McDonald with a throw-in. Raymond McDonald crosses it in, but it's cleared at the feet of Turner Cook, and it didn't get there. And Greenwich tidies up. Back to Killop. Not many highlights in this second half. In fact, I'm not sure if this isn't the first one. Gamble, Greenwich, Viner, Mundors. We try and look for this. He's found Dobby. Dobby, can he score? Yeah, no. Cleared off the line by Hall. And Swindon on the ascendancy here. Clark, he's been tackled and he's messing around with it. Gamble, both feet in, and lucky to get away with that, I think. Greenwich heads it clear. Raymond will get there. He's kicked that into touch. And we're really pretty much on time. Not sure we're going to get too much time. We're probably not going to get a chance for another attack. We're going to lose this one. And it is all over. Just timed himself out. And we've lost to Swindon Town, 1-0 at home. That's not a good result. And we've played pretty poorly, all in all. And, well, go and tell the team the case as well. And that does mean that the gap is down to 3 points. I'm presuming Hartlepool must have won that. And, in fact, they drew their game against Cheltenham. But we lost, so they have gained a point on us. 3 points behind us. But if they do win that game in hand... we still are fairly confident we're okay based on the goal difference. So that game that's coming up in the next episode is looking more and more like a really definite 6-pointer. If we can win that game when it comes to it, would theoretically open a bit of a gap over them. But we've got to do that first. And they're in a little bit of a sticky bit of form at the moment. I think that's 4 draws they've had in recent times. We'll have a look in a second or two. But yeah. Not a good day at the office, and our second loss in League Two. And we'll have a little bit of a closer look at that table now. And as you'll see, as I said, Hartlepool, their last 5 games, they've drawn 4 of them, only won once in the last 4. So a little bit of a wobble in form for them. It may be a good time to actually catch them. And it looks like Leyton Orient are closing in on them from below. So they need to be very careful that they don't get caught. And it will all come down to that game in hand that they have. Right, let's get on with the episode. I'm trying to get into the schedule. There we go. Next up is Crewe in the Papa John's trophy. And we haven't played Crewe so far this season. In fact, we play them at home towards the end of November. So a little way off yet. This being the second group game of the EFL trophy. And as you will remember, we lost 4-2 to Hartlepool in the first game. Crewe beating Aston Villa under 21s 3-1. So today, and then finishes off with that home game against Aston Villa under 21s. And then Hartlepool playing Crewe. So a win today against Crewe, and then a win against Aston Villa. I think we stand a reasonably good chance because one way or another, that's either going to be a draw or one of those two teams going to win. So that's still in abeyance. Let's see what we can do then. See if we can progress out of this Papa John's trophy. And here is the team that will face Crewe in this Papa John's trophy match. Malden in goal. Linton, Gamble, Williams and McDonald are backline. Raymond, Viner and Patterson in midfield. Moss sitting behind Dobby and Walker. Killop, Scanlon, Camwar, Spence, Idawan, Mundell and Omatoy are all on the bench. And a look at the teams. Our 4-3-1-2 formation, which didn't work against Swindon. And Crewe are playing a 4-2-3-1, our usual formation. And Aston Villa under 21s beating Hartlepool 5-1. First highlight, McDonald tidying up to Williams. Patterson, 8 minutes on the clock. Patterson trying to get Moss away. Didn't manage it. Linton steps in. Dobby through to Moss. Moss is in this time. And Moss puts it away. His second goal of the season. And we go 1 up after 9 minutes. Lovely through ball to Moss. And then Moss just picked his moment. Committed the goalkeeper. Put it away. Linton with a throw-in on this near side. There was an injury. I didn't see who it was. Dobby, obviously not on our side. That ball forward to Lewis Walker. Lewis Walker's in. And it's number 2. Third goal of the season for Lewis Walker. And we're 2 up after 21 minutes. And that makes the table look a little bit better. Dobby getting that back, and Walker run onto that. First touch was sublime. And it's number 2. See a question of tight offside, but he's onside. Linton with a throw, and we do go into second place on the head-to-head. Dobby, and that's taken a bit of a ricochet, but it's crossed in, and it's Perry Moss, his third goal of the season. His second goal of the game, 3-0 and 29 minutes. Begs the question why we couldn't play like this against Swindon, to be fair. And half-time comes. I think against Swindon, they did play very defensive and try to catch us on the break, which they did. And they won that match. We've had 50% of our shots on target. 6 shots, 3 on target, 3 goals. 1.49 on the XG. 64% of the possession. They've had 2 shots, nothing on target. 0.05, 36% of the possession. As it stands at the minute, can we have a look at the table, please? We can. There we go. As it currently stands, Aston Villa under 21s, having beaten Hartlepool by 5-1, are in front. We got to play them next, but we're up into second place. Crewe are third. Hartlepool dropped down into fourth place. Well, all we can do is hope that we can keep going in the second half. First highlight of the second half, and Crewe have a throw-in to Woodcock. Woodcock back to Adebisi. Adebisi's a long run in that area. Well tackled by Viner, who didn't give anything away. It's crossed back in, though, and it's headed. McDonald heads it out, and it's headed only as far as Brook, though. Goes out wide. Corville back to Brook, and it's curled in. Good save by Malden. So a corner ensues. Collins with the corner. Swings it in. It's headed clear by Viner, but only as far as Adebisi. And the threat continues. Linton this time. And another highlight. Malden. McDonald to Viner. Viner back to Williams. Williams launches one, looking for Moss, who's the shortest player. And Crewe, certainly since we've had highlights in this second half, have had a lot of the game, whereas we had a lot of the first half. Viner gets underneath that one. Viner having a good game out there, but Covell is through. Cut him off. Oh, it's gone in. And his first goal of the season. Malden nearly got there, but couldn't push that one wide this time. And a ball forward. Walker heads it back, but it's not doing it. Walker heads it down into the path of Williams. Williams now. McDonald, Patterson back to McDonald. Williams looking for a way through. That one's launched long, looking for Walker. Didn't quite find him. The defender was there. It was O'Riordan heading it back to the goalkeeper. Long ball launched forward. And they come forward again. We dearly don't want them to get another goal back. Not now. And a Debisi, who's causing all sorts of problems out there. I need to check him on the opposition instructions in a minute. It's crossed into the area. Went right the way across the 18-yard box, but nobody on the end of it. But it's still alive. And Coville's in again. Oh, it's come off the line and didn't go in. And you come back having made one change. Zach Viner, who is tired, has come off for Sion Spence, who goes into the midfield. Patterson drop into the defensive midfield role. That is our only change at the moment. We potentially make some more because Carl McDonald is getting tired, but we don't have another right-sided wing back on the pitch. So we need to work out tactically how we're going to fit that one. They launch a long ball forward. Williams finds Spence, who's just come on and picked up a yellow card. Walker fires one in. And with 18 minutes on the clock, made two more changes. Lewis Dobby has come off for Tyrese Omotoy, and Jaden Raymond, who's also very tired, has come off for Camwa in the midfield. Still leaving McDonald on the pitch. We don't have an alternative for him, so we're going to have to leave him there from the moment. Just hope he doesn't get injured. And not a lot of highlights in that second half. It's game over. And we have managed to squeeze a win out of this one. It's a 3-1 win by virtue of that first half hour, really. Perry Moss after 9 and 29. Lewis Walker after 21 minutes. A consolation goal from Vaughan Coville after 55, albeit it did look as if he was going to get in again. But Perry Moss doing the damage realistically. Good game from him. And that's then 10 shots, 4 on target, 2.02. They had 11 shots, 3 on target in the end. Kept them quiet in the first half, but they definitely came back into it in the second. 0.84, 38% of the possession for them, 62 for us. How does that leave the table looking? Let's have a look. And it leaves us in second place behind Aston Villa under 21s, who we play next. With Crewe and Hartlepool. Everybody has 3 points. It's so open that anything could happen, and it really comes down to those final 2 matches and who wins. So realistically, I'm thinking it's possibly whoever wins those matches will qualify for the knockout stages. Well, the games come thick and fast at the minute, not only episode-wise, but also literally in-game. So 3 days down to Hartlepool and a League 2 match, followed by a League 2 match against Cambridge, who are currently in the bottom of the table. But as we know, that makes no difference at all, having already lost to AFC Wimbledon, who were down in 23rd at the time, I think. So it can change very, very quickly. So we're going to come back for the next episode, Hartlepool and Cambridge United. Hartlepool because they are second in the Sky Bet League 2. Tucked in behind us with a game in hand. They would be on equal points. If they were to win that game in hand, they would be on the same points as us. So it's all square. It's just by virtue of the fact we'll probably stay top on goal difference unless they have a huge win. So we'll see how that that comes about very, very shortly. But that's coming up next. I don't think they'll be using that game in hand up before we get to them. So 3 points in front of them. If we can beat them, we'll be 6 points in front of them, still with that game in hand. So that's what we need to do. Yes, as you'll see, the game in hand doesn't come before that. In fact, it looks like we will be 2 games in front of them because they play us there. They don't play there, they don't play there, but we do. So we'll be 2 games in front of them. Just checking to see. Can't see them there either. Goodness me. I'm not quite sure how we get so far in front of them realistically. They play there and we don't. So that's one of the games in hand. Way in amongst that lot. Can't see them. Could be a while before they use that game in hand up. So we need to stay that. It gives us a little bit of pressure to stay in front of them at the moment. So anyway, I'm sure it will all sort itself out for the next episode. So don't forget to join me I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of To Be a Legend and new series as they are released. If you want to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel and more, you need to follow me at Just Offside too. New episodes To Be a Legend currently released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 36. It's out on Thursday. Until then, goodbye.